and things like it is the equivalent of the red pill.
This is a technology, it's a computing language, and I can build an app on it.
Is Bitcoin the currency of the future?
Crypto gang, it's the game, big gang, all gang, light gang, cash game, blockchain, whoa. I don't really ever buy stocks, man. No. Haters wanna say I'm in a bubble, man. No. Chew them up like bubble gum. No. Just made a meal with my pocket change. No. Wreck about to go and join the huddle gang. Huddle gang, huddle gang, huddle gang. Crypto gang, it's the game, big gang, all gang, light gang, cash game, blockchain, whoa. I don't really ever buy stocks, man. No. Haters wanna say I'm in a bubble, man. No. Chew them up like bubble gum. No. Just made a meal with my pocket change. No. Wreck about to go and join the huddle gang. Huddle gang, huddle gang, huddle gang. Ethereum pays for my rent. Bitcoin pays for the vent. Litecoin pays for the jet. Bitcoin cash for the rest. Spent 30 racks on an ICO. What coin did you buy? I forgot, yo. Just got started last night, bro. And I'm already hooked like a pipe stove. Flipping the coin, making it grow, taking it slow, letting it go. Cash flow's growing, it's incredible to watch it flow. Stacking the cash, taking it home, making it fast. I'm on a roll, little bit mo's all I ask for the bubble though. Currently, learning about a new type of currency. Burning the dollar down like an emergency. Urgently, listen, my friends have been urging me. Coins have been surging, we're earning like surgency. We on a mission, man. Crypto maniac. Act like you don't really know about it. Stop that. Bitcoin blowing up like a bomb. Step back. Used to be a couple $100. Should've copped that. Blew up on a scene from the mind of a brainiac. Back in 2009, where the miners at? Silk Road, baby. It's gotta be anonymous. Satoshi blew up. Now we on the map.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, and we are back at it again with another episode of Crypto Portfolio Updates. I am excited. I am feeling good. I am well rested. I am worked out. I've been making moves. I'm a little bit brain dead. Sorry, it's coming in late. It's a late episode because we ran into some issues. But before we do that, I want to have my intro little monologue piece, and it's pretty much going to be a rehash of the same monologue every time. Is we are going through a massive transition. A lot of opportunities are happening. And today I want to talk about attitudes about those opportunities. Because like in the real world, I have conversations with people all the time. And they're like, oh, you had to have gotten in 10 years ago. I'm like, I'm dumping my whole paycheck now. I'm buying now. Math is still math. Nothing has changed. If I'm still buying now, and I was buying 10 years ago, and I've been consistently buying since I decided to jump off the cliff, the opportunity is still there, but people want to make excuses for why they're not acting. And that's all that it is it is an excuse. When I tell people I started off and they were like, oh, well, you know, Bitcoin's more expensive now. I was like, it was expensive then because I couldn't afford a whole one. I've never bought a whole Bitcoin at one time, ever in my life. And when I tell them, I'm like, yeah, I was scrimping off the ends of checks when I was horribly in debt. And it was 10, 15 bucks. And I was stacking those sats at 10, 15 bucks a pop. Doing what I could. Voraciously, consistently. But that's not glamorous. That's not glamorous. They like to talk to you after you've got six figures in the market, after you're making moves, after you're talking about the stuff that you're doing now 10 years later. They want to say that you're lucky. And it's insulting. It's upsetting to me. I do feel some type of way when people tell me that I'm lucky for consistently running my paycheck down to zero, living like I'm broke, putting everything that I can towards an opportunity that I see, and I'm still doing it to this day. To this day. I don't have any of the things that I could have if I wanted to blow the little nugget of wealth that I've amassed. But I'm lucky. Like, no, I'm diligent. I'm disciplined. I have the ability to identify an opportunity and execute upon it consistently, no matter what. But I'm not lucky. The luck only shows up after the work's been done. And the people who don't want to acknowledge the work, then that's when luck comes into play. There's been no luck for anyone in the cryptocurrency unless you're one of those people who bought a meme coin and, you know, million X'd overnight. I guess there's a few lottery winners if you're in early enough. You can get lucky in that way, but those people generally don't stay wealthy. They're like lottery winners. They go broke too, because one of the things that's proliferated in this space and proliferated in the West in general is a short-term mindset, a short-term ideology. Everyone's living hand to mouth. Nobody's understanding how money works. Nobody's understanding how to attain wealth. That's the reason most people find their way into the crypto space. They're trying to get rich tomorrow. They don't want to talk. They don't want to talk to a reckless Ray Dinero about a decade's worth of work. They don't want to do that. They don't want to take the time to understand how this space works. They don't want to do that. They want to get emotionally attached after being in the market for maybe a year and then think they know something. But that's okay, because we're going to talk about that, because we make money. We are not zealots about anything. I would say about anything. Me personally, I'm not even a zealot about Bitcoin. I just know what I know. I follow the money. I'm not a zealot about Ethereum. I just know what I know. I follow the money. There's one chain that I am a zealot about not using, and that is Tron. I do not like that chain. It has the second highest liquidity lockup, which means that there's a lot of activity on it. There's probably a lot of opportunities, and I will skip those specific ones because I don't support that chain. I don't like the creator. I don't like the ecosystem. That's just me. I'll pass up on those. But everything else is fair game. And as we get into today's episode, we are going to talk about how fair game everything else is, because Reckless Ray Dinero's done some hard pivotry. I thought I was deploying $3,800 this weekend, and it turned into more like $24,000 that had to move. We're going to talk about that too. Let's jump into it. But before we do that, we're going to start with the fun part of the show. You know, we gotta add as much value as possible. So we got to hit this refresh, because we know that the crypto market never sleeps. It is ever moving. And we're going to get into the top 5 gainers and losers, people. So here we go. First and foremost, we've got the gainers. Obviously, we're in a retractment, but look at the beauty of this retractment. We're still on the top loser side. You're seeing 30% haircuts. On the winner side, we're still up, we well up above 30%. This is bull run territory. Bull run is happening. It is beautiful. I'm here for it. So let's get to it. At number 1 on the top gainers, we do the gainers first, because I'm hoping as many of you as possible are condensed to this side of the list as opposed to the other side of the list. At rank 654, we have Math, M-A-T-H, with a gain of 74.2% in the last 24 hours. At number 2, we have, oh boy, I got some friends that are in on this one. Utility, active. I like it. Shout outs to my homies in Helium Mobile at rank 134. MOBIL has had a gain of 59.9% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, an airdrop that I received many moons ago. I think like a bull run and a half ago, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 2 bull runs ago. At rank 689, we have Shapeshift Fox, FOX, with a gain of 46.2% in the last 24 hours. At number 4, we have, at rank 944, Silo, SYLO, with a gain of 42.9% in the last 24 hours. And at number 5, we have, at rank 889, wow, tongue twister. Satox coin, SATOX, and they have had a gain of 28 point. Hold up, refresh. See, it's moving as we speak, and they have had a gain of 33.4% in the last 24 hours. Now, jumping over to the list that I hope none of you are on, the top losers list. Every once in a while, you can find something, a good coin that has good fundamentals that ends up over on this list, and it's a good buy opportunity when they have these big pullbacks. So sometimes a coin ends up on the top losers, And, the way that we do over here on the Wolfpack is sometimes these are opportunities. They don't necessarily have to be a bad thing. You got to take the wins and the losses. Me personally, I don't ever come out of the market, so I'm riding the waves no matter what. So sometimes I'm over on this list. I'm just used to it now. I don't even faze me. But sometimes it does faze me, and I just don't feel good about it. I feel bad about myself and my life and my portfolio, because the portfolio be taking body shots, and I'm like, please stop hitting me. But it doesn't. So, at number 1 on the top losers, at rank 699, we have Hopper, HOPR, with a loss of 35.9% in the last 24 hours. Hold up. I'm going to have to redo it. There we go. At number 2, at 627, we have DFI.money, YFII. And that is at rank 627. And it has had a loss of 34.5% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, we have Picasso at rank 918, PICA. They have had a loss of 33.6% in the last 24 hours. And at number 4, at rank 354, we have GX Chain, GXC. They have had a loss of 32.6% in the last 24 hours. And rounding out, last but not least, we have at rank 545, Tor, TOR. They have had a loss of 32.4% in the last 24 hours. Now, let's get this bad boy over, because things have changed. Boom. So now we're looking at the 2024 portfolio. As you can see, we've been making some massive buys. We are currently down in the 24-hour just under 5%. 4.85% to be exact. Not worried about it. We made some purchases. And we are not done making purchases. I've had to move so many funds around that it's just been an undertaking. We'll just put it that way. We are currently up 14.51%. Now, this margin is going to go down as we buy in this year, because we're driving prices up. We are adding new positions. This pie chart is looking mad different. And it's going to continue to look different because we've still got some more moves to make. But one of the key features that you will notice is there's a big chunk of Solana, which is a chain that I am not adamantly, openly a fan of, because they keep having to reset it. They reset it 13 times last year. It's a terrible business model, in my opinion, to have a blockchain that's so centralized that you have to keep rebooting it. That it's just not good. But what it is an opportunity, honestly. And, I'm hoping that the little birdies from Solana that were in my ear when Solana was $8 talking trash actually bought some. That's actually the most important thing. I'm like, you know what? You can be emotionally attached to a chain, but I hope y'all bought that dip, because that was for you. Me personally, I did not buy the dip at $8. We bought today at 73. I'm okay with it, because we're going into a bull run year. There was no reason for it to be in my portfolio prior to today. Do I have utmost faith in it? No. Will I be utilizing it for the next 16 to 24 months? Absolutely. And unlike most of you who talk the talk, there's a lot of Solana people. I talk to people who've been in the game for a year, less than a year, never been through a bull run, got in the tail end of last bull run and bought all peak in the hole, but feeling some type of way about a project, and it's going to kill ETH, and it's just going to win. You're going to be a winner. We're all going to be winners this year, famo. We all are. Now, to that note, I'm actually active on the Solana blockchain now. We got liquidity. We got positions. And I'm going to bring you the value that these people who only talk about the primary coin and the meme coin, mind you, the get rich tomorrow stuff on the blockchain for people who want to get rich tomorrow. Now, as I've been using Solana, I got to reuse my Phantom wallet, which is a wallet that I do like a lot. I do enjoy the Phantom wallet. It is a great hot wallet for the Solana ecosystem. Can't say enough stuff about it. And Solana, when it's working, buttery smooth, really low transaction fees. It's just those 13 times that they had to reboot the blockchain that like makes me not exactly excited about it. Because your money gets trapped. And as somebody who provides liquidity, it's a lot of money. Like, I understand the people who just hold the coin on a centralized exchange. You've got it on your Coinbase, your Gemini, your crypto.com, and you have an opinion because when Solana locks up and has to reboot and you can't get access to your funds, it doesn't affect you because you're not using it. So that's the only reason that you wouldn't get upset about it. You don't have anything on chain. Those of us who do, it's kind of annoying not being able to get access to, thousands of dollars. For some people, some people ape into stuff. They're big time liquidity providers, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Waiting for the chain to reboot so you can get access to your money, that's a little disconcerting. It's not something that people who actually utilize these things would like. Having an NFT that's actually on chain that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Because Solana got a healthy NFT ecosystem. Y'all be going ham on those NFTs over there. Probably not the greatest experience to not have access to your money. And that's literally the complaint. It's 13 times last year. After this project had been out for a long time, people didn't have access to their money. It's upsetting. Hopefully, moving forward, they fixed it because using the ecosystem, using it when it's up, it's wonderful. But if you can have to reboot your chain to get it to come back online, that means it's highly centralized. That's like almost like one computer. Like, not necessarily the greatest, but I know the VCs are going to get their money back, and I'm going to get some of their money too. And I know that there's going to be a bunch of people who don't know any better that are going to buy this on centralized exchange because something a YouTuber said. And I'm going to get their money too, because this is not a team sport. It's an individual sport. We are competing. We are in competition, direct competition, vicious competition. People will lose and people will win. Let's not get that twisted. I just like competing, so I'm kind enough to give you guys the real game. I'm not going to sit here and hype tokens for you. I'm not going to tell you to buy bonk like an idiot after it's already blown up. No. I'll tell you, it's a gamble because it's a gamble. And do with it what you will. Throw a couple of $100 at it. Throw $150 at it. Throw $100 at it and look away. And then hopefully you end up being one of those lucky people who won the lottery. And when you do win, if you do win, please don't blow the money and trick it off and be an idiot and then be broke and then sit in your car crying because you didn't cash out on a meme coin. Dummy. God. So we made a big move there. The question is why? Because I thought we were going to be moving $3,800 because I kept a certain amount of my portfolio. I kept on a platform that I really like. And then I found out that America and our lack of regulations has made it so that they've shut down everything, including the loan feature. You can't even borrow against your crypto on it no more. They took away the interest, but we still have the loans, and they took away the loans. And then you can't even exchange on there anymore in America. And this is what I'm saying. They're closing down opportunities for us to navigate financially. So I have to liquidate all my positions off of there, move them into other places. So, like part of that was we were trying to build up an additional 0.25 Bitcoin, which we did. So the experiment in and of itself was a success. The utility was very useful. It is no longer useful here. I will be resetting up a Nexo once we is officially out the United States. We're gonna have to get some property somewhere else. We're gonna have to definitely expense that out because I really do like that platform. It is very useful. And during the whole Celsius thing, and all that stuff. I was contemplating moving everything over to Nexo, but I didn't want all my eggs in one basket. And Celsius was the one that collapsed. Nexo never collapsed. Nexo was going strong the entire time. Nexo's been doing it right. Nexo's still doing it right. But unfortunately, since America has made it so disadvantageous because of their knee-jerk reactions to people playing with money in ways that they shouldn't on their platforms, they're like, nobody, okay, well, y'all done ruined it for everybody, which I think is probably by design and by intent, which sucks for me. It's an inconvenience, but it's just an inconvenience. What it opened was a lot more opportunity. So like now in the retirement ledger, we got 1.25 Bitcoin sitting in there, and we're going to have a bunch of other bags that we're going to be moving over to sit in there. So that way we can keep it moving. We can keep it active. And I'm excited about that. The nature in which we're going to do those things, we're trying to be very systematic about it. But I'm more than excited. We got to shore up a bunch more positions. And then, when it rains, it pours. I also noticed that my Camelot LP lockups from last year just also unlocked. So next week, we're going to have probably about another $4,500 that we're going to have to redistribute into this year's portfolio from those holdings. Super excited about it. We're going to be doing probably another 6-month play, hit us right into the middle because April will be the halving. Do another couple of 6-month lockups. We're probably going to keep at least one of those positions on Camelot and just move it over to an incentivized pool so that we can get a little bit more money on it. You know what I'm saying? Produce some more income. But probably going to do another 6-month lockup because that'll put us right into the start of what we're going to be looking at, what we're going to be having after the Bitcoin halving. Because Bitcoin halving is in April. Do a 6-month lockup now. That puts us out June, July, somewhere in there. I'm ready for it. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Every door that shuts forces another one open. And the ones that have opened recently, I am kind of excited about. So, hold on. Let me, Yep, that's the one. Okay, so I gotta add another thing in here because we're gonna have to do this in order. Okay, so we're gonna go through the portfolio. Let's look and see where we're sitting right now. So I'll give you the top 10. You guys got to see the pie chart. Now, you'll notice that there is a heavy position in synthetics. Why? Because I like round numbers. I like big round numbers. Big round numbers. So we wanted to get 1,000 synthetics tokens. I wanted 1,000 staked. And considering we're going in through the bull run, we're just going to see where that rides us out to. I'm thinking probably after the fact, we'll sit somewhere at about 500 or so, depending on how we're looking at this. One of the other things is people are like, oh, there's probably going to be some crypto people who are some anti-crypto people that are going to tell you that the market's dead right now because you're going to see there's a lot of red on here. A lot of red. We're still up overall. We're down 4% on the day, but a lot of red, a lot of blood in the streets. Crypto's over. It's all over. You see these positions taking 16% over the 7-day, 13% over the 7-day. Thor Wallet's DEX taking 24.7% over the 7-day. These are some numbers that a lot of people aren't happy looking at. But if you're dollar cost averaging, now we're obviously moving big chunks of money around, and that also adds into play. That's the reason we didn't just dump all of our bonus money and that we made pools of money where we're dollar cost averaging. We get 2 additional buys a week now until that money pool runs out. That's the reason we also have our cutoff metrics. But with that said, we are still, you're catching these dips if you're dollar cost averaging. You're still catching these dips. And I mean, if you look over here, now Solana, we're actually down because we bought today. We bought today. Now, if we have any more going to the ecosystem, though, that's 5%. We could buy down. We can buy down. We bought at 73, 74. It's down to 69. I'm okay with it. Because the positions and what we did with it, which we're going to talk about, produce an income. It's fine. Thor Wallet Dex, 24% down. Overall, we're up 132.27%. NASDAQ, down 13%. Overall, even including our buys, we're up 45.88%. Synthetics Network, down 16%. Overall, when it's all out in the wash, we're up 71.8%. And that's because we did some major buying over the weekend to shore these positions up. Because we want to get these positions producing. Obviously, we're making a leap of faith play here on the NASDAQ because this is a moonshot token. And of all the moonshots, this is the mooniest moonshot right here that I've got as far as position goes. Like, you look at this, it's like, Thor Wallet Dex is down there. NASDAQ is down there. NASDAQ is the most it's at 3,009 on the market cap. Like, Jesus. Lord. Have mercy. Way far down there. Real world asset play. I like it. It worked out for me over 2023. We got to a position where we were in the green. I'm running with it. At least until the data or the numbers or something makes me feel that we might not need as much in this position. But we're definitely riding out this position for the bull run. It's definitely on my moonshot list. Thor Wallet Dex is another one on the moonshot list. Synthetic Networks, it's up too high. It's a 56, but it's a solid worker. A lot of stuff going on in the back end. We got updates for them. But let's go ahead and get through this list. Let's take a conversation. Let's take it and see what we got. At number 1, we have Synthetic Networks, SNX. At number 2, we have NASDAQ, NSDX. At number 3 now, we have Solana. That's correct. Third largest position. At number 4, we have Thor Wallet Dex. At number 5, we have Ethereum. At number 6, we have Arbitrum. As stated previously, we are skipping the dollars. All the stable coins are getting skipped. We're not counting the stable coins. I want you guys to get as much alpha as possible. And stable coins are always in LP positions, and they're not useful. It's not an actual coin that we're making a play on. It's just dollars. At number 7, we have Wrapped Staked Ether. At number 8, we have Synapse, SYN. And at number 9, we have Nexo, NEXO. And this position will be getting closed out. We bought some additional Nexo tokens for this year. We will be taking a 4.27% loss on the purchases that we made just recently to get us qualified for the 0% loans. And we're not going to be using those, but that's a small amount. We also have an entire bag of Nexo tokens that I've been sitting on for a hot minute that we are definitely way up for. So this position overall in the macro will be closing out in the green. We're just going to be converting it over to something else, something that's useful, because there's no point in us holding Nexo tokens because it benefits us none. And we can't do there's no utility that the platform as an American citizen provides anymore. They turned everything off. They're like, well, you can sit tokens here, but like all you can do is sit tokens here and get rid of them. Like, take them off, get them out. So at number 10, rounding out the list, we have Polygon Matic, MATIC. It's ranked 15 right now. We're at a little positivity there. Also, we're LPing as much as possible for the bull run, and we also have bags that are set to aside that will be going into the retirement portfolio. We will probably be wrapping those into a stake position to get some accruement on them via Lido Finance, which we will be talking about in future videos, because it's important to have as much of your funds as active as possible. Now, I do understand that while we will not be able to, with Bitcoin, a lot harder to get that active. We got to figure something out with that. But everything else, if you've got a derivative or something where you can have it sit and accrue value, those plays should be made active, especially in a retirement account, because then you just set it, forget it, passive income, it grows. That's what the timing that we're on. So everything that we move into that vault, we're intending for it to stay in that vault. So with that said, we will most likely be wrapping literally everything that goes in there. I'm trying to find a wrap derivative to, keep that moving. Now, also, for those of you who, I'm not trying to shame nobody here, because it doesn't matter when you get in, but it does kind of perturb me when people talk about a protocol and they don't actually have a lot of it. So I'm hoping y'all got at least as much soul as I do, considering I talk trash on your project and y'all be in there just going hard for soul. And now me not believing in it, I better not have more of a impact on your chain than you do. Just going to throw that out there, because as we move forward, I'm going to add some value. You know what? It'll probably help some of you guys who are sitting on centralized exchanges with opinions actually get your funds off of there, because that's the worst place for them to be sitting, and actually get active in the market and get yourself some alpha, some actual alpha. So we're going to jump into this. This is a special documented. You hear it first. Every chain, including the ones Reckless Ray Dinero doesn't like, he gives you the most alpha on those chains out of anybody you see telling you to go buy bonk and getting just the base level coin and have it sit on an exchange. You ain't getting you get no better than over here. And shout out to Delta for bringing this to us, because we always incorporate the Delta into our into the platform, the Delta sponsorship. We're definitely going to be doing a breakdown here. Let's see here. I got 2 weeks left this month before I'm going to be doing a breakdown on how I use Delta and how it has improved, because outside of the fact that it doesn't have my DGen coin Nasdaq, which is the second largest position I have. So the numbers between the Delta and the CoinGecko portfolios is a little bit off. It's a little bit off. But outside of them not having the absolute degeneracy of my portfolio, which is my second largest holding right now, outside of that, definitely adding a ton of value to how I'm navigating this crypto market. Definitely made me getting these funds distributed to the appropriate places, definitely made that super useful as well, because of all the analytics and metrics that they have within the pro version of the Delta app. So shout out to Delta. There's a link down in the description. Now, you guys definitely want to touch on that. I'm going to have to update the description, because we're going to have to pull Nexo out, because there's no point in you guys signing up for that from the US, because we can't use it. Boo to us. Brain drain. It's happening. Whether people want to admit it or not, our opportunities are being limited. I'm not a fan of that. Something needs to be done. Now, let's jump to the how-to part. Now, I've talked about this multiple times before, but I'm going to bring it back, because I've recently brought it back to the forefront of the congregation, because now that I am full DeFi, I'm constantly looking for ways to traverse chains. And one of the exchanges that I highly use a lot, I used it all this weekend, is Rango Exchange. And that is app.rango.exchange. It swaps 50 blockchains. It's got like a lot of back end support. This is just a front end. It uses a plethora of bridges to facilitate trades. Now, one of the things that I noticed in doing my research, because we are going to be dropping outside of the XRP that I already have, I will not be adding XRP because I cannot do that full DeFi. And if I can't do it full DeFi this year, Reckless Ray Dinero is navigating the bull run full DeFi, which means that if I can't get to it, the only thing that we're buying centralized, and that's just using Cash App, is Bitcoin. If I got to go out of the market and we're gonna pay some taxes, we're gonna do some sell off, it'll be in Bitcoin out via Cash App. In the market, Bitcoin via Cash App, which means that if I can't figure out, and this is going to be a personal challenge to myself, I will not be turning on my Gemini. I will not be turning on my Coinbase. I will not be turning on my crypto.com. We're going full DeFi, all bull run, not a game, not playing. Bitcoin in, Bitcoin out. That's all we got. Got the house savings in Bitcoin. We're definitely cashing that out. Plan on setting aside 40 to 40% of that because we're going to have some capital gains tax. But outside of that, I'm not planning on bringing anything out of the market, but going into the market, I have to be able to get to the chain full DeFi. That limits what I can do. It limits it to a certain extent. But one of the things that I'm looking at and that I noticed was you can get to Solana. So I was playing around, messing around with it, and I realized I ran into some hiccups because going via MetaMask, anybody who uses MetaMask, Binance Smart Chain is really kind of a pain in the ass to use, specifically on MetaMask. I don't know why. It just is. But one of my trades that I was trying to execute, I had to stop because it was trying to go through Binance. And I was like, not through MetaMask, like, no. And so like you obviously are using a wallet jump because MetaMask doesn't have a native Solana wallet. So like I had to hook up my Phantom wallet. It's a little bit complex. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but we're gonna go through the overall. I'm not gonna run the transaction. I might have to set this up one of these times and do some little short transaction videos where I actually do run the transaction. Because it doesn't let you see anything, but like, like I don't like having my stuff that I use all the time out there like that. But I figured it out. And so like we're going to give some extreme alpha for those of you who don't know what the heck you're doing. So the easiest way that I have discovered today through multiple trials and errors to get from outside of Solana, which would basically be an Ethereum, we're going to go Ethereum layer 2, is to go from Polygon to Solana because it's a direct exchange over. And what I mean by direct exchange over is it's not hopping multiple different chains, because some of these are like 3-chain hops and it gets really expensive. The other thing that I would also say is when you're transferring over from one chain to another, the easiest way to facilitate those exchanges is with stable coins. I'm not gonna mince words about this. Either USDT or USDC. Now, for what I use for today, I use USDC because it's on both chains, native, right? Because these chains, USDC and USDT, they want to be decentralized, regulation purposes, obviously. So they live on Polygon, they live on Ethereum, they live on Solana, they live on most chains you can find USDC and USDT. So what you're going to want to do is this is the swap that you want to make. So whatever you do, you want to get to Polygon. It's not really hard to bridge over. You can actually use this like Ethereum to Polygon, not that bad outside of the fees. So everything on Ethereum is going to be expensive, but like if you go, even if you were to, so say if you're coming, hypothetically, you're coming from a centralized exchange, you're sitting on your exchange and you go, you know what? I want to get some DeFi action going on. The easiest way to do that would be to buy Polygon, move it, because most exchanges don't even charge you if you're going to Polygon because the fees are so minuscule that like most exchanges act like they're, even though they're raking you over the coals in fees, Coinbase, they don't charge you for most layer 2 Ethereums. They don't charge you for everything that has low fees. They don't charge you for Ethereum. They're making you pay, and Bitcoin they make you pay. Generally, rule of thumb. That's just how it works. But with this, I would do Matic, and then I would send it to your hot wallet. So if you haven't had if you don't have a MetaMask, obviously, we will do a video of how to set that up for everybody. Well, it's not hard. You follow instructions, but I'll set one up. I can set one up on my computer here, and that's just going to be a throwaway wallet, so that way you guys could see the process. And the video, we're going to do it with the base of how to set it up on Firefox, Firefox, not Firefox. MetaMask. Ugh. They're both foxes. Don't judge me. It's late at night. And we'll do a video on how to set that up. And that's going to be the primer for all wallets, because basically every single wallet is basically exactly that process. It's like click a couple buttons, write down your 12-word passphrase, whatever, and then you go through the steps, set up a password, you're good to go. And I will do a walkthrough for you guys soon, because it seems like we're getting a little bit caught up on work, so I'm having more time to do that. But you would send it to your hot wallet, which would be your MetaMask, on the appropriate network, which would be the Polygon network, which the reason I like MetaMask is because your wallet address for your Ethereum and all your layer 2s and basically anything that sets up native in that wallet, it's the same address. Same address. You get one address for everything. So like your Ethereum, all your Ethereum layer 2s, it's all the same address. It's wonderful. The one thing that I would so you send that to your Polygon wallet, and then you convert it within the DeFi ecosystem. So you would go, I use QuickSwap on Polygon. Now, this is another thing. When you say you have a panache or an opinion, or you're a maximalist for Solana or any chain, you should know and have a preferred DeFi exchange that you use. You should be able to talk the talk. You should know the things that are going on within the ecosystem of your chain. So for Polygon, I use QuickSwap. I do liquidity providing on there. I support that chain. I like it. It's basically a Uniswap clone, but Uniswap is a 800-pound gorilla, so I try not to use them unless I have to. Now, if it's something that's a pain in the butt or something obscure that's only on Uniswap that the QuickSwap doesn't have access to, I'll use Uniswap as a backup, because Uniswap's on everything. But a lot of these other chains have other opportunities in regards to liquidity providing, liquidity farming, stuff like that. And, it's for diversification purposes in the DeFi space. I normally try not to support the 8 million pound gorilla, because if they come in and try to shut the space down, that's going to be what they take out. That's going to be what they hyper regulate. That's what's going to be asking you for additional information to use something that doesn't need the additional information. So I try to always support additional chains. So then I would convert that to USDC. Then, and so like hypothetical, we're going to put some numbers in here so you can see how this will set it up. So we got 100. And so this is going to spit out onto the Solana blockchain 99.74. Like there's going to be slippage because you're jumping through a bridge in an exchange. Now, the gas fee, the max gas fee is going to be 47 cents. We got the network fee for both ends of this. It's a 47-cent transaction to get this over. Take about 11 minutes. And the reason we like this is because it's just going from Polygon, goes through all bridge core, straight to Solana. And that's what you want. I've tested this bridge. I've purchased over 20 Solana today via this method. And like the first purchase was a little bit clunky. The second one, smooth as butter. It just takes a little while. Now, the thing is, when you're bridging, it does take a little while. So like if you're used to using DeFi and you've only used Polygon or you've only used Solana, it takes a couple seconds. Not that big a deal. The problem is, once you get to a point when you start bridging, it does not take a few seconds. So, and then the other thing that I like about this is you can switch it back. So that way, when we're ready to evacuate the Solana ecosystem, we can go here, hit this, and you always want to make sure you match. And you go 100, and it's going to do its math there. It's quick maths. You actually get a little bit more back going from Solana to Polygon. That's nice to know. And the fees are lower. Even nicer to know. Look, benefits of Solana. As long as the chain's up, this isn't bad at all. Like now I know I'll catch that little bit of slippage. I'll get some slippage back on the way out. I'll take it. Nice. But there's additional steps and there's additional things you got to do when transacting across blockchains when you're bridging. Now, I find it pretty interesting. It's a little bit more intuitive, but obviously the gains that you get, the opportunities that you get are far greater than just sitting on a centralized exchange. They're far greater. Like even with the exchange, the fees and stuff. Like I don't like the growth potential of just being in a centralized exchange is so limited in comparison to what the DeFi ecosystem provides that it's not even a conversation. And it's the reason that when I'm talking to people who claim to be in the space that just have coins that are sitting on an exchange, or you figured out how to get it onto a ledger and like that's all you're doing, I'm like, we're not speaking the same language because like you're not on the level. You're just not. Because like you're not experiencing the growth, the opportunity, the passive income, any income, the exchanges. You don't have access to all the coins. Like you can't do what you want to do. You can do what you're allowed to do or what you're capable of doing. Like it's just not a conversation because those people are not actively in the space like that. You're just not. You don't have access to perpetuals. You don't have access to a bunch of stuff. Now, one of the things, so now we're going to jump over to the news because that's the gist of it. You click send, you plug in your wallet addresses. Obviously, when you connect your MetaMask to this, if you're going from Polygon first, you would connect your MetaMask. You would have to put in your wallet address to your Phantom wallet, which within your Phantom wallet, you have to connect to this as well. If you have not connected your Phantom wallet, that is one of the caveats. If you have not connected your Phantom wallet to this exchange, and it's not necessarily in the sense that like you push a transaction, but you have to get in your Phantom app, get this page up and connect your wallet. Then refresh the page in your MetaMask and then reconnect your wallet, and then it'll let you put your phantom address in. It just has to have been connected to the exchange so that the exchange can put the coins into your Solana wallet. It is a requirement. You do have to do this. This is the way these things work. So almost left that out. Okay, let's jump into the news and alpha. So we're gonna go through, and these are from. This is from the 11th. Actually, hold on. Do we have? Let's see here. Hold on. Give a shit about. Hold on, we're setting up some stuff. I don't care about that. Oh, well, that didn't help. Okay. Hold on. All right, so let's take a look at this. We're going to do the hot shots. If you guys want to check this out, Delta does do this, and this is brought to you by Delta, obviously a sponsor of the show and the platform. You know, you gotta pay respect where respect is due. So we're going to do a quick hits. We're going to start adding this in every crypto portfolio update. We haven't gotten, so this is from the week prior. And it's the crypto developments for the week. I like just reading out the quick hit. If you are on Medium, you set up your account. Me personally, I have it free, but I don't click the pay part because I'm not paying for this because I don't have enough time to sit down. Like normally, like this is a quick hit and I get it. Also, if you are within the Delta app, they give you these analytics as well as a weekly report and recap of how your portfolio has performed over the week at the end of the week. And it's wonderful. You wake up Monday morning, they give you the weekly recap and you're ready to go. So this is last week's weekly recap, which was from the 11th. So this is what we're in arrears, but they haven't even released the current one yet. So like, it's always going to be in arrears unless I record this on Mondays, which we give this to you on Sunday. So that's not a possibility. Major crypto developments for the week per the Delta app, sponsor of the show. MVRV shows that on a multi-year view, Bitcoin is still far from being overvalued. We've known this. Bitcoin is undervalued. AF. End of story. Not even a like there's so much price manipulation within our market. It's ridiculous, but that works out because it's extending the opportunity for people to get in. My 2 cents. Bitcoin enters top 10 largest global assets by market cap. Not surprising. Moving towards the future. The future happens whether you like it or not. Ooh, this is a big one. BlackRock seeds ETF with 100K, confirms high likelihood of ETF approval. That's a big one, people. BlackRock has seeded their Bitcoin ETF with $100,000. They've already got the initial seed money in there. They're ready to go. You don't tell BlackRock no? I don't know. I don't know if that gets people excited. It gets me excited. Obviously, the peak of the week. Bitcoin soared up to 44K, registers historic positive weekly returns before correcting. Absolutely, that did happen. It was nice. I was worried that I was not going to get enough into the housing fund before the moonshot because our cutoff is 45K. I'm planning. I'm probably guessing that rolling into this week, we're gonna have to do the housing fund, the last of that, early because, yeah, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna be. I want to get some of this dip. I mean, it could dip more, but I want to go ahead and get my funds in. The Chicago Mercantile Futures opens interest for Bitcoin reaching all-time highs over 5 billion. Interesting. I don't care about the CME. They originally opened the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Literally, futures was just to attack the price of Bitcoin and bring the market down and collapse it. They were unsuccessful. Any information that comes out of there, I don't care. Bitcoin's a global asset. No one cares what people in Chicago and the Mercantile Exchange think about it. They don't get the final word. They can't even keep their city straight or safe. So, yeah, that's cool. Google search trends show lackluster retail exuberance in crypto market. Fair enough. I mean, hold on, we're gonna have to go down and see what that one's about. Wait a second. We're gonna go mine through that because I don't know what that means. All right. On a similar note, looking at the Google search trends for Bitcoin, we can see that the market is still far from levels of euphoria and retail. I got you. Or far from the levels of euphoria and retail speculative activity that was previously reached during cyclical Bitcoin peaks, which is good. I mean, the Bitcoin, we're not even at halving yet. Why? I don't understand why that was included. We're not at halving yet. I mean, it's a nice little piece of sentiment, but like, we're not at halving yet. Good gracious. Okay. We've gotten through the news part. So like the news part's actually going to be pretty easy because the crypto roundup sponsored by Delta, who is a sponsor of the show and the platform, will cover the majority. Now, if there's some standout stories, I'll add to it. But that they cover it. I mean, those are quick hits. That's the quick hits from the week. It's good. We're solid there. We're gonna shift over now. And this episode's a long one, but we're gonna get into the alpha. Now, why does Synthetics Network keep popping up? Because they keep doing stuff. They're just doing stuff. They're releasing things, they're working, and they're telling us about it. Now, what did they do over the last week? They've ended the token inflation with the passage of SIP 2043 by government and subsequent implementation. Synthetics has reached a pivotal moment, ending SNX token inflation. This significant shift impacts both holders and liquidity providers. Those are both me, marking a pivotal point for the protocol. So they've ended token inflation. The token inflation history initiated in 2019 to bolster staking, adjusted in 2022 to a dynamic system, adjusting to staker behavior, diminishing impact of inflation incentives. Recently, inflation became less effective as an incentive, leading to its termination, which means people did not care. People are too lazy to learn how to use DeFi is what it is, or too scared, or whatever it is, because this one is not necessarily a hard play. Like it doesn't, I mean, single asset staking, you're managing. I mean, you do have to check it. It's not a set and forget, but that's the other thing. People are lazy. That's the other problem. So people are just lazy. They don't want to check stuff. They don't look at things. You want to set and forget. Everything wants things on a UT Street. You don't want to manage collateral. You don't want to manage a debt position. You don't want to look at numbers. Makes sense. Unique inflationary model. Distributing inflationary rewards across all healthy stakers caused confusion among users due to staking complexity. Not going to lie, it was complex. Once you figure it out, it's not hard. New reward structure. Post-inflation, both stakers and non-stakers benefit from the changes. Stakers receive additional benefits obviously, you got to take care of your liquidity providers. That's why I'm more important than you on every chain, including the one you like to be on and say is the best. They still like me better because I'm bringing the money. You got to take care of the people that take care of you. End of the day, like that's what this is. And non-stakers are no longer disadvantaged, which is cool. They're going to throw you some crumbs. That's fine. But they're taking care of me. I like this. The future of synthetics without inflation simplifies staking, improves user experience, and paves the way for strategies like buyback and burn beginning in the upcoming Andromeda release to reduce the SNX token supply. Now, this is another great one. They're getting ready to drop. They're going to start doing buybacks and burns. They're going to reduce the circulating supply. They're going to drive the price up. Let's go. Let's go. What else does synthetics do? We got so much alpha coming from synthetics. Also, by the way, staking is still at 18% APR. We've come below 20, but like obviously during the bull run, it's going to get wild. But you know, once it starts getting up there to where SNX, if SNX gets back up to $20, game changer. What else did they do? We're going to share this tab. They did perps V3 feature and release. Now, I've been seeing a lot of perpetual trades. The synthetic perpetual trade represents a significant upgrade to the world of on-chain perpetual futures. Building on the success and learning of V2, this new version is designed to further enhance the efficiency, usability, and resilience. And this has started to roll out. Let's give you guys the too long didn't read. We'll do the breakdown on this because this one's dragging a little bit longer than we normally do, but I had a whole bunch of stuff going on. We made some big changes. There were some big things that happened, and I had to let you guys know all about it, and I wasn't going to hold off on the alpha because we put the alpha at the end because we want you to watch the entire video. You got to stick around to get the plays, to get the understanding of the whys. Y'all want to know why we added a big old bag of SNX. Well, this is why. They're doing stuff. I'm seeing it play out, but let's go. Perps V3 upgrade, a significant improvement over Perps V2, introducing native cross-chain margin. Boom. New margin types. Boom. And NFT-based account controls for enhanced trading and usability. Can we talk about future, people? That's for all you degens out there. You know about all this stuff. This is the fun stuff. This is where the traders, the day traders make that real money. They ain't buying a coin and then selling the coin later in the day. They over here doing these margin cross-chain trades. Perps V2 success. Over 38 billion in trading volume, attracting numerous traders and accruing over 28 million in fees. Powered by innovative features like an improved off-chain low-latency Oracle system from Pyth Network. Y'all were wondering why we added Pyth into the portfolio. This is why. This is why when you follow a project, you should actually know about it. You shouldn't just say, "Oh, it's going to the moon. It's going to kill ETH." No, get bonk. Meme coin. No. We're looking at stuff that's being used. We're looking at use case. We're looking at actual alpha. So when I saw that Pyth Network was involved with this, I went and did some research on Pyth. I went and found out that Pyth originates on Solana. Okay. We're going to put a little bit more. We're going to throw another bag over there because this is being used heavily because Synthetics Network is in the back end of a lot of these platforms, heavily utilized. Obviously, 38 billion in trading volume, 28 million in fees. Probably nothing. But you don't hear the Solana fanboys like cheering on Pyth, which just recently launched. It hasn't been out that long. But I digress. They're looking at memes and they're looking at memes, and they're looking at other influencers who are telling them that Solana is going to the moon, so just buy the Solana token. They don't know anything about the ecosystem because they're not using the ecosystem. They're not using any ecosystems. So key perps V3 features: unified margin system, expanded collateral margin options, MEV resistant liquidation process, and improved order settlements. All good things. All things that make the ecosystem run smoother. So when you're on the front end, you're getting the best experience from the user perspective as an active trader. Can't beat that. Obviously, it's being used a lot. I personally don't partake in these margin trades or perpetuals, but people that do, if that's your lane, that's one of the things. It's not on my skill set. I'm an infrastructure guy. I'll collect your fees. I'll provide your liquidity. I'll be on the back end getting the money. Like, I want my money guaranteed. I'm not gambling. Obviously, there's more risk, more reward. This is the highest level of risk that I'm willing to partake in. The Andromeda release features the implementation of Perps V3 with Core V3, new collateral options like USDC, deployment on base chain, which is Coinbase, and buyback and burn to distribute rewards. I am excited about this. When that Andromeda release goes, it's going to be interesting. Ethereum mainnet plans. This particular deployment is designed to cater to a broad spectrum of users, from whales and market makers to protocols like Ethereum that focus on delta neutral positions for stablecoin scaling. I use Synthetics protocol. My personal involvement with it is on Optimism. The Ethereum fees are insane during the bull run. Not even going to lie. I've got a couple of positions. I've got one position that will be staying as is. I didn't even think about it when I made it. And I was like, we'll ride it out and we'll cash it out at the very end. But like, as far as using it for a consistent weekly cash out type deal, the fees are too high. Which sucks, but my Ethereum plays, I have other ways to navigate around that. Like, if you have big bags, it's not bad. But like, if you're moving under, like, if you're just transferring, it's not bad. But if you're interacting with contracts and stuff, if you're not in a position that's like $5,000, like, or more, I'd say comfortably, if you're not in a $10,000 position, don't even bother. It's a rich man's chain. It's just what it is. Like, the fees for what you're cashing out, like, you need to be pulling out like at least, like, I'd say $500. Otherwise, the fee is going to eat up into that. Like, I mean, at $500, you're still looking at a $50 transaction fee. Like, that's a 10% fee, but it's free money. So, like, you can justify it at that point. But otherwise, you're getting like a 50% cut that's going to the Ethereum network every time you cash out, which is my one complaint. Every upgrade, the fees get better because it used to be $100. And it was also got as high as thousands of dollars. So, like, it really just isn't necessarily, unless you're a big time, and I don't like isolating down to large positions like that, because if something happens to the protocol, something happens to anything, you're not able to diversify those funds, which I am not a fan of. So that's just not where I'm at right now. Like, as the portfolio grows, we might get there, and then we'll go back and see what opportunities we have over on the Ethereum mainnet. But until then, there's plenty of opportunity on the layer 2. So that's what I use. Fortunately, Synthetics offers one of those. Now, the last piece of alpha, which I promised, I told you, I'll give you more. I will give you more value than your favorite Solana head, period. So they're telling you about Bonk. Oh, Bonk, everybody should be on Bonk. They're not telling you about Camino, though. Let's talk about it. App.camino, Kamino.finance. What is this? First of all, it's IP banned in the US, so you're going to have to work your way around that. They're out there. It's doable. Just saying. Now, there are plenty of services that make it so that you can be on your computer, but then not have your IP show up as though you're on your computer where your computer's physically sitting at. And we're just going to leave it at that. You got to do your own research. I might have something behind a paywall at some point that breaks that down. Probably will. I'll give it to the people over at Circa 84 because they pay to be there. Those of you who take things seriously, tap in. Link is down in the description. Join Circa 84. We going all sorts of places. There's a lot of wealth building opportunities and a lot of good networking in there. But what I will give you on the front end of this conversation, that's on the front side of the paywall, is we will talk about the opportunities in Camino. And this is one that I haven't even jumped in on yet. But now that I know how to navigate these markets, I probably will be allocating a little bit of capital over here to play. Because Camino DAO has a bunch of interesting stuff. One specifically that I'm liking, and we'll just go through here and I'll show you guys what we got. So what they have is they have a borrow lend platform. Now, this is interesting because you can supply liquidity, right? And funny, this has a bonk reward on it, guys. Look at that. Look at that. So you get a reward for supplying liquidity, which is dope. Now we might actually have to mess with this though, because on the supply side, you get 80% on your dollars, which is nice. This is solid. So you can if you drop in 100, you can borrow 80. The thing that you got to note here is when you're looking at a situation like this, and this is what somebody from my background as a liquidity provider, we're always looking to flip. Now, what you've got here is this pool right here, the USDC pool, and I'm pulling this up today, Sunday, December 17th. Those of you getting it on Wednesday, you getting late alpha, but like this probably ain't going to be changing that much. You've got a 6.29% supply APR, which means you get 6.29% on your money, and you got the little kicker here because bonk could continue to go up. You know what I'm saying? You get a little bit active moon action because they got a little spice on there for you. Now, the borrow is only 3.42%. So you can take out that loan, that 80% loan to value. You can get that $80. You deposit it. The money that you deposit, you getting 6% on. You can borrow at 3%. You should be able to walk away from a position like this with 3%. Right. That's what we talking about. We talking about making plays. So see, we gonna be making another play on here. We making another play. I'm telling you that right now. As soon as we get them unlocks this next week, plays is happening. We might be having plays depending on what I got left from my from the Nexo tokens, because I gotta, after this video's over, we've got to get those Nexo tokens gone. But check this out. So like easy play, you just supply. If you scared, you're gonna go to church, you just supply, you walk with your 6%, you park some money here, you get paid. You leave all of it in there as a supply, you get paid 6%. Next level to that is you take your loan, right? Now, I always tell people when we do positions like these, like this is going to be a position that's probably going to be a few $1,000s. And what you'll do is you park it, you take your 80% loan, and then you keep enough to manage. Like this is not a set and forget play. And then you take that money, those funds that you just borrowed against, you leverage. This is exactly what we did over on Alchemix. Like I wish, honestly, I would have gone so far as to nix the entire Alchemix setup to just throw some money over here to get it at 80%. I'm not gonna lie, like because this is just free money. You get paid to borrow, and these are setups that I get salivatory and greedy about. Like this is gonna happen. Like I will be back over here, and see, this is the reason that I can't take the Solana advocate. I'm really about this. It's gonna be the best. Thank me later. No, thank me later. Thank me later. Because none of you cats have thrown out anything that was gonna get you some free money to make more plays. You're welcome. Thank me later. Just saying. And this is the reason I tell people, I'm like, you don't know what you don't know because you don't even know what you're looking at because you're not in the space. You're actively not in the space. Like, let's call it what it is. You're not. Y'all are not. Otherwise, like if you came at me and like this was the conversation y'all wanted to have, it'd be a different conversation. Because I'd be like, you know what? You got something there. That's a play. Let's talk about it. Let's get a few $1,000s over there. Let's see what's going on. Y'all ain't moving a few $1,000s. I don't even think y'all have over 10 coins. Like, I really don't. Like, and if you do, they're not in the ecosystem. It's sitting up on a Coinbase wallet, not doing shit. It's late in the video. We're going to cuss a little bit. Put the kids to bed. You scared, go to church. But you definitely ain't lining out how a play is made because you don't know how a play is made, because you don't know how money works, because you don't know how the ecosystem works, because you don't know how the ecosystem you advocate for works. But it's cool. I'll break it down for you because I do. Because I do this. I use it. I know how it works. So I'm going to break it down. So anyways, when we see stuff like this, we like this. Even with the SOL, if you were to supply SOL to be borrowed against, you're still coming out a little bit ahead. Plus, this is also bonk incentivized, so you have a little incentivized upside. Because if bonk runs, now you getting it for free. This is free exposure for gambling funds. And, you know, if you don't have to sell it off, you can keep the 3% in bonk that you get and, you know, let it ride. Free gambling, right? House money. Right. So you could do that, right? And then you want to take those funds and put them somewhere else. So let's see what else Camino's got. Camino also has liquidity. Now, this came in super handy for me. So obviously setting up a play. What do we do? They've got three main ones here. You've got a bunch of these. You've got JTO Soul. That one's got a 50% kick on it where you can deposit. One of the things that I like about this specific platform, they got USDT, USDC. But one of the things I like about this platform is, so you gotta have one of the primary assets, but you can do a single asset stake. Now, what this means is, for those of you who are not really versed, one of the things I do like about this platform is it makes it easy. I did this the easy way today, where you take the single asset. So in this case, you would just need a bunch of USDC. Now you can get so these are also 7-day APYs, which is nice. 19%. Yeah. Yes, sir. We're gonna be doing some experiments. We're gonna see how the first two positions go that I set up, because I got two spots over here now. This was not one of them, but we might have to do some cash pooling, because boy, Oh, we gonna have to do we doing a cash play over here. I'm out here. We are learning live because you get 3% to borrow 80% of your dollars. Hold up. I just made the play for you. Look, this is how it is. I'm going to break this down. You got the USDC right here, right? You get paid little like 2% to borrow money. They're paying you to take it because you getting 6.32. They borrowing, you borrow at 3.45. I'm going to do the math for you. Hold up a second. Let's do it. See, we making a play. I'll give you guys a whole play right now. Obviously not financial advice, but me personally, I will be doing this probably within the next couple of days because there's no reason not to, in my opinion. Like this is too good to pass up. So you borrow at you supply at 6.32 minus 3.45 for what you borrow at. That's giving you 2.87% right there. That's plus 2.87%. Then you take those funds, right? Let's go with it. Let's run with this. And you park them. This is an easy play over here into this pool where you will make, with this strategy, the USDT and USDC, 19.47. So you know, 19.47 plus 2.87. That's 22% gain right there. And as you get paid out, you can just pull a little bit out, repay your loan back. That's easy. Obviously, you're not going to have upside on that, like beyond just the stable coins, but I mean, like, that's easy. 20%. It's 20% for some dollars. Just moving some dollars around. Easy peasy. I mean, they have other ones. I mean, you looking for some upside? Like there's some upside. I mean, you come into Soul. They got one that's 144%. They also got one over here on Orca that's 154%. So that's the liquidity positions. They got a bunch of liquidity strategies on here. I used the Soul B Soul strategy personally. That's what we playing with. You know, we did that one. And then what was the other one? We did two. So that was the simple one. And then I think we might have done an M Soul or something like that. But then they also have these beta ones. I haven't messed with this yet. I don't know how this works, but they got a multiplier. They have an explanation on how it works. I will read that for you because I know that people don't read. You select a multiplier and deposit your Soul or liquid staked token, example, Gito Soul. Camino swaps into Gito Soul and uses a flash loan to borrow Soul. Soul is swapped into target Gito Soul amount and is supplied into Kland. Soul is borrowed to repay flash loan. New position earns yield at target leverage. Now these are one-click strategies. These are in beta, but they're offering some decent yields. And then you get to, when you go in here, you get to, you know, you get to play with it. And so, and it'll give you so, you know, you get to pick your APR and kick that up to above 15, but it also gives you your 30-day, your 90-day. You can figure it out. You figure it out in there. Yeah. Which is pretty interesting. Then they also have longing and shorting. Let's see what we got here. And so this is also a deposited leverage play. Borrowed leverage. And so they got bull and bear strategies. Me personally, you know, interesting. Let's take a look at this one. So see, they've got everything. They got stuff for your degen needs. They got all this goodness in here. %. This is okay. Okay. So this is a solid platform. There's a bunch of stuff I like in here. We're definitely gonna be banging this out. Like this is there's some plays to be made up in here. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And like it's got a lot of options. Oh yeah, we going in. We are going in. And then they got the automated plays that do the exact same things. Like bet. Okay. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and take that down. We gave you so much alpha. We've been here for an hour and a half almost. One of the longest episodes we've done so far. Also one of the latest. So this is going to be coming in. I got to go put a thumb up on. I got to put a thumbnail together. Y'all will probably be getting this very late Sunday night, but it will be before midnight. I stayed up late for y'all. I hope you guys appreciate this. Definitely those of you catching on Wednesday understand I stayed up late to get this to my people, but there was so much information and so much stuff going on, and I tried to get as many plays done as possible so that way I could add a little bit of value to the squad. You know, I got a lot of people that are watching the content now. We're having conversations about it. We were having conversations as I was getting ready to record this while I was eating dinner. Like this is important. It's our time to strike, and we are going to strike strategically. We are going to strike true, and we are going to make the most out of this bull run and hopefully move the needle forward. So for those of you tapping in on hump day, shout outs to you. For everybody else, we will be back with Guns and Butter this Thursday. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. I will not be missing this Thursday. All my holiday obligations as far as stuff that I have to do on Thursdays has been obligated. We are good. So we will be unencumbered Thursday. We'll be coming back better than ever. And yeah, with that said, until next week, tap in with me down in the comments. Let me know what you thought. I hope some of the soul heads watch this and want to leave a comment. Let's talk about it. Or hit me up in back channels because there's quite a few of you. I see y'all all over the place. So let's talk about it. I hope you guys found some value in this, and I hope you get your coins off exchanges and get active in the markets and actually start utilizing some of the great opportunities that you're missing on while you're having your emotional meltdowns over the not value. And for the record, this is value, just so y'all know. And we're going to keep continuing to give value. Not only am I going to take you to the water, I'm going to show you how to sip it. I'm going to show you how to get it into the canteen so that you can take it with you. Now, whether you choose to do so or not is on you. But I will show you how to navigate these markets, including your own chains. It's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero. I'm tapping out. Until next week, get it, your boy. Salute.
Cryptocurrency, currency. She love cryptocurrency. Me have a hot sexy girl. Whoa. off. She wanna go down and she dips off. She love dancehall and calypso. She no want the cash, she want the crypto. Me have a sexy girl, just a tip top. She wanna come up and she dips off. She love dancehall and calypso. She no want the cash, she want the crypto. Decentralized like a blockchain. Anyway you see me, girl, you know it not gonna stop rain. Pull up in the Beamer or the Benzie or the Bentley. Cryptocurrency, that's what we spending. We not in a lending. No for them a snake, yo. We not in a renting. Bad mind fussy them. Wanna see we ending. Grinding out with face, but call that pretending. Now left me 9 milli. Girls say we trending. Me have a hot sexy girl, just a tip jar. She wanna go down and she dips off. She love dancehall and calypso. She no want the cash, she want the crypto. Me have a hot sexy girl, just a tip jar. She wanna come up and she dips off. She love dancehall and calypso. She no want the cash, she want the crypto. She love cryptocurrency, currency, cryptocurrency, currency, cryptocurrency, currency. She love cryptocurrency. MetaMask wallet. Cryptocurrency, currency, cryptocurrency, currency, cryptocurrency, currency. Coinbase wallet. Stack it up. Me have a hot sexy girl, just a tip jar. She wanna go down and she dips off. She love dancehall and calypso. She no want the cash, she want the crypto. Me have a hot sexy girl, just a tip jar. She wanna come up and she dips off. She love dancehall and calypso. She no want the cash, she want the crypto. She love all me DeFi. And some me make she feel high. Digital currency, I what she need.